November 6th, they're back.
The undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick, Big Daddy Bowe!
Live from Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Evander, Holyfield.
The battle for the heavyweight championship of the world. Is it repeat?
No way.
Or revenge?
Evander, don't you remember the first fight? You mean to tell me you want some more of that?
In a rematch of 12 of the most exciting heavyweight rounds ever fought, Evander Holyfield tries to regain the world championship from Riddick Bowe.
Only thing I think I'll change is that this time I'll knock him out.
He really got it coming. I feel that I'm a better man than I was last year. I'm a lot stronger.
He's confused. If you think he was confused after the last fight, he hasn't seen anything yet.
They met exactly 1 year ago in a classic test of wills that lasted until the final bell. On November 6th, these valiant warriors resumed their battle.
This is what the real attraction of this sport is that seeing two men lay it all on the line, get every possible ounce of energy that they have in their bodies because they want to prove they're the better man in the ring.
The incredible round 10 became the defining moment of the fight. The hearts of both men triumphed as Bowe attempted to finish off the champion.
Champion struggles to stay on his feet. What a heart by Holyfield.
But Evander Holyfield's warrior heart generated an amazing comeback.
Holyfield weathers the storm and comes back throwing. What a warrior. Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling.
The ebb and flow made that round one of the greatest heavyweight rounds I've ever seen. Because normally heavyweights, when they hit you, they drive you into the canvas like a nail. These two men came back and back and back again.
And they're not done yet. When these two combatants step back into the ring again, they will be attending to some unfinished business.
I don't want Evander saying, well, he thought the fight was close and, he felt like he won the fight.
I don't want to grow old thinking about I could have come back and beat the guy.
I think to not let that be in question, I have to knock him out.
Which will it be? The younger champion who proved he had the stamina and determination to win? Or the former champion with the tremendous heart and courage who wants to prove it's not over? On November 6th, will it be repeat or revenge?
Repeat.
Revenge.
Repeat.
Revenge.
Repeat.
Revenge.
Repeat.
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 And they brawl in the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Round 10.
An uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
It just kept coming.
The fight of the year.
Battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling. You've seen the best of both men.
I'll get my revenge.
I will repeat.
Bowe Holyfield live from Caesars Palace, November 6th on pay-per-view. Call now to order.
It is a boxing rule that styles make fights. Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe are a study of contrasts.
My favorite color is black.
Blue. Black eyed peas.
Southern food.
Martin. I don't watch TV that much. I'm a very confident person because I know who I am. I'm another man just like any other man with a job. My job happens to be boxing.
I wouldn't say that I'm overconfident. It's just that I know what my ability is, and a guy like Evander couldn't beat me.
While Bowe talks, Holyfield listens. It is this ability to listen and learn that has made him a champion.
I follow order, meaning that I kind of obey the person that's the instructor. I'm very submissive to the trainer, to the person that's the lead. And so that allows me when I go into the ring to do what it takes to win.
Evander throws his will into his work. Effort is his ethic.
I think I'm a boxer that took advantage of all the things that was available to him. It's not like I came up with this way weightlifting bit, came up with this special training program. I just happened to have someone that cared enough about me to try to give me the edge. And his name was Tim Hallmark. He came up with heart rate, the different machines that I use to get in better shape.
That's not to say that Riddick Bowe doesn't work hard or listen. He just does it at his own pace and counts on the gentle voice in his ear of Eddie Futch.
Without Papa Smurf, I guess little things that I don't see, he can pick up and help me correct them. Whereas if he wasn't there, or if he wasn't as sharp as he is, then I would never know these things.
The one thing that works in Bowe's favor is his corner is constant. He's got the same brilliant man, Eddie Futch, in his corner. Evander's changed corners. I don't know that that'll work for him.
The New York Jets, Giants, Falcons, the Chicago Bulls, no, the New York Knicks, Hawks, baseball, the Yankees or the Mets, Braves.
Evander Holyfield passionately follows Atlanta's teams and loved being a successful franchise in this sports-mad town.
Evander loved being champion. He was really, that was his thing, being champion, being a role model, being an image out there, and he enjoyed it, and he loved it. And I think if he lost anything at all, that's the feeling that he lost. I mean, he's not accepted again as the champion, only as a former champion.
No knock on Evander, who was, always been very pleasant. But Riddick sort of came in with this, teddy bear kind of approach to life, the loving mother and loving wife and the kids. And it was just, it was just refreshing to see, that a fighter can, be a man without having to, be threatening or intimidating. And I just thought, this was going to be a lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the Brooklyn's own Riddick Bowe. Riddick!
Riddick Bowe is happy being champion, loves the attention, and enjoys the trappings of celebrity.
And if he wasn't as pretty as me, I would mess that face up a little bit more.
But he is also on a mission to become as visible as his hero, Muhammad Ali. Riddick Bowe is a fighter who is as well marketed as he is trained. Moving to a world stage, Bowe met with Nelson Mandela. Made a goodwill tour to Somalia. Had an audience with the Pope, but he is a fighter. And it is the fighter's bravado that most people hear.
I want to win, and I want to leave my mark. And after the fight, you will see my mark all over Evander Holyfield's face.
This is our life, a fighter's life. And he wants to take all his shots, especially a fella that has heart, guts, the will to win, and that's Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield wants to be champion again because it is a challenge, a mountain to be climbed. Riddick Bowe wants to win because he loves the view from the top.
And they brawl in the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Nice ring, huh?
And Bowe stuns him with an uppercut. And just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
You want to do it now?
Reversing the tide of the battle, the champion now has Bowe wobbling. You've seen the best of both men.
Now, let's wait.
Bowe Holyfield live from Caesar's Palace, November 6th on pay-per-view. Call now to order.
This is an amazing show. You've seen the best of both men.
It was November 1 year ago when Bowe and Holyfield met for the first time in what's been called one of the greatest heavyweight bouts in years. Two men whose courage transcended the ropes of the ring.
That is a real beautiful fight between two courageous young men who I think found that they could go past some boundaries that they didn't know, were there. That was the night that Riddick Bowe grew up and became a heavyweight champion, because he took everything Evander Holyfield had to give.
My hat is off to Bowe. Bowe fought a hell of a fight that night. He fought a hell of a fight.
It was Evander giving 140% of himself. And all of a sudden, you came to understand what this man was all about. And he was all about laying it all on the line and being himself and digging down deep and every other cliche that sports writers write. And he had done all of it in one night.
When Evander box is like, you know, I box, right? So after the 10th round, you know, I need some water. He hit me with good shots, but I'm still there. I'm hitting him with my best shots, and he was still there.
Last time they got up easy. This time, it'd be hard to get up off the canvas.
There's the uppercut again. The mouthpiece is out of Holyfield's mouth, and he's going to go down. And Holyfield gets up very early in the count.
Bowe is going to be for another tough fight with Evander Holyfield, because I know Evander. You don't get by Evander twice, he's going to be fighting his heart out.
The battle began in earnest, but escalated dramatically in the second round when a challenged Holyfield dropped his game plan and went toe-to-toe.
Showing his warrior's heart, believes he has Bowe hurt.
There's something about Evander psychologically that as soon as he's hit, he forgets game plans and he becomes a warrior.
And it made me go to an all-out war. And from that point on, the fight was on to the point where I just said, well, look, hey, I'm going to show you something.
You just can't take on a building and expect it to crumble, right? You got to demolish it. You got to wear it down. And he didn't fight his fight plan.
Well, he didn't change his fight. I made him change his fight plan. And I thought that the only thing I can do to better that performance was to knock Evander Holyfield out. And I tried to do it in the 10th round.
The dramatic 10th round was spectacular. A round of boxing called Classic. A round that could be repeated November 6th.
Bowe stuns him with an uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. What a hard fight, Holyfield. He's going to stay on his feet. He's hanging in there. Gets away from the right hand.
I felt that the only way he could beat me was to knock me out. I knew he wasn't going to knock me out, even though that I knew he was a strong fighter.
I have to be honest with you. I was a bit tired. So, you know, it's not as easy as a lot of people think. Not to mention Evander. He was determined. He didn't want to be knocked out. When a man doesn't want to be knocked out, it's pretty hard to knock him out.
And Holyfield weathers the storm and comes back throwing.
When he thought he had me in trouble, I was probably at my strongest when people thought I was at my weakest.
And in his comeback, earned everyone's respect.
Look at Holyfield. What a warrior. Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling. And he lands the right hand. Everybody in the Thomas and Mack Center on their feet.
You don't see these kind of rounds with heavyweights usually, because when a heavyweight usually gets you in that kind of trouble, there is no comeback.
Here was a man who could endure all of this and come back. And God knows the public and the writers love a comeback. And in that round, 3 minutes, you saw a comeback, which is extremely rare.
This round should be greeted with a standing ovation at the end. You've seen the best of both men.
On Saturday, November 6th, the best are back. Who will be victorious? Bowe the champion or Holyfield the challenger? The battle continues for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Round 10 continues after the bell.
If I felt that I would fought my best fight and not made so many mistakes and Bowe beat me, I would just have to just realize that, you know, my time is up. But I realized that my time is not up.
He's confused. And being confused, he wants to clarify various different things. And I guess he feels like I can help him clarify these things. And so we do battle once again.
And they brawl in the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Round 10.
An uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
It just kept coming.
The fight of the year.
The champion now has Bowe wobbling. You've seen the best of both men.
I'll get my revenge.
I will repeat.
Bowe Holyfield live from Caesars Palace, November 6th on pay-per-view. Call now to order.
2 men, two different strategies. One goal, the heavyweight championship.
Anytime I get into the ring, I'm in there to make a guy do what I want him to do.
What's important is to win, not so much that I got to go toe-to-toe and prove something.
Evander can only fight but one way, and that's the way I let him fight.
In the last battle, Riddick Bowe proved his stamina and determination. Evander Holyfield showed his great heart. Most believe that Evander's undoing came early on when he dumped his game plan and went toe-to-toe with the bigger, heavier Bowe.
I could have made the fight a lot easier for me if I would have boxed him. And I came out in the first round. My intention was to box him.
You got to beat him with smarts. You got to beat him with a game plan. You got to beat him with mobility. You got to make him fight your fight.
I'd rather fight toe-to-toe than box and take more discipline for me to box than to go toe-to-toe. If I go back out and do the same thing, I get the same result.
Helping Evander with his game plan to regain the title is his new trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, guru to many world champions.
What Emmanuel Stewart teaching me that it's not going to be one shot that's going to get this big man out. It's going to be a combination of shots. I'm not a one-punch knockout artist like Tyson is, so I need to go in here and use what always been my weapon, my hand speed, combination. These are the things that it takes.
Perhaps the best conditioned heavyweight ever, Evander weighed only 205 pounds for the first fight. He has gone back to lifting weights to add more muscle to his classically sculpted body.
I feel that if I am a little stronger as I hit the guy, I feel that it would affect him a little bit more. And strength is all in your mind.
Fists are where Bowe's strength comes from. He will probably exceed the 235 he weighed for their last fight, but Bowe is unconcerned with how big he'll be on November 6th.
Well, I'm going to weigh in where I'm comfortable. If it's 235, then so be it. If it's 240, 245, then let it be. I'm not going to kill myself or to try to come in light to satisfy everybody else.
Will the confident Bowe, trained by the legendary 81-year-old Eddie Futch, alter the strategy that led to his perfect 34-0 record?
They said if you find something that works, stick with it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The only thing I think I'll change is that this time, I'll knock him out.
After the first fight, Bowe silenced any doubt about his heart or stamina and proved that a big man who could fight was someone to be reckoned with.
Bowe can flat out fight. He throws a jab. He has good hand movement on defense. He has good foot movement for a big guy. He's got a good right hand. He's got a tremendous uppercut. He's an incredibly accurate inside fighter for a tall man. He can fight.
Now, Riddick's a big man. He's not a sharp puncher. He's a ponderous puncher. And Evander now knows that, so he might be able to adapt.
Most big men just have punching power, but Riddick Bowe have a boxing ability, meaning that he can use a jab, he can move when he have to. He's a good inside fighter, and that's very rare. He's a polished big man, and there's not too many big men that have the ability that Bowe have for his boxing.
Will the polished big man retain his title? Or will the 205-pound man with the 204-pound heart regain his?
I know one thing, Evander Holyfield is going to go into that fight as probably as motivated and as determined as he's ever been.
He can fight his heart out, but he's got the box also. He's got the fight. He's got the stick to a fight plan.
I think Evander has in the back of his mind that I beat him. He has to worry about that. Not to mention that, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm getting better.
I can compensate that with my hand speed and, my movement and my smartness. I think, strength is mentally not so much a physical thing.
I think Evander's going to come out, he's going to try to box and use a lot of lateral movement, but eventually I think I'm going to catch up with him and knock him out.
Now I got to go into this fight, and then I got to fight a disciplined fight. I had to fight him just like I fought George Foreman.
I just think he's going to now meet somebody who's a little bit more confident than he was the first time. So I think it's going to be similar but shorter. And I think Bowe, wins against Holyfield 99 out of 100 times.
I've been a champ one time, but I realized that I could be a champ again. All I have to do is do the same thing I did and more to get it.
He changes his strategy, moves, delivers punches in the combinations he can. Brilliant hand speed. He not only has a chance, he can win.
I can assure you and promise you right here now that Evander Holyfield will not see the 12th round.
On Saturday, November 6th, Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield fight for the heavyweight championship. Repeat or revenge?
Here's the first round exactly as it should happen. Holyfield comes out to meet Bowe, and then Holyfield starts to retreat. Around the 8th round, he'll find himself in a ringside seat.
And they brawl in the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Nice ring, huh?
And Bowe stuns him with an uppercut. And just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
You want to do it now?
Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling. You've seen the best of both men.
Now, let's wait.
Bowe Holyfield live from Caesars Palace, November 6th on pay-per-view. Call now to order.
In the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Round 10.
Uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
It just kept coming.
The fight of the year.
The champion now has Bowe wobbling. You've seen the best of both men.
I'll get my revenge.
I will repeat.
Bowe Holyfield live from Caesars Palace.
Bowe begins to hold and hit, and they brawl in the center of the ring. Evander Holyfield showing his warrior's heart. Believes he has Bowe hurt.
It's coming November 6th. They're back.
The undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick, Big Daddy
Live from Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Evander,
The battle for the heavyweight championship of the world. Is it repeat
No way.
or revenge?
Evander, don't you remember the first fight? You mean to tell me you want some more of that?
In a rematch of 12 of the most exciting heavyweight rounds ever fought, Evander Holyfield tries to regain the world championship from Riddick Bowe on November 6th. Will it be repeat or revenge?
Repeat.
Revenge.
Repeat.
Revenge. Repeat.
Big Bang. Some believe the sound can still be heard rumbling through space. Now, get ready for the echo. Bowe versus Holyfield in a rematch of one of the greatest fights ever. Bowe owns the title. Holyfield wants it back. Repeat or revenge. Live from Caesars Palace. Available only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator to order. Brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers.
Let's get ready to rumble.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By Fortis, innovative insurance and investment products, solid answers for a changing world. And by Gant, clothes for the man comfortable in his own skin.
And welcome to the Sports Pavilion here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, where on Saturday night, Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield will have at it one more time. This time a year ago at the weigh-in, Bowe weighed 235 pounds, Holyfield weighed 205. This afternoon, we expect both fighters to be about 10 pounds heavier than they were this time last year. Let the weigh-in festivities begin now. We send it downstairs to Al Bernstein. Al?
Thank you, Charlie. It is indeed time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the official weigh-in for the heavyweight championship of the world. And the first man to weigh in will be the challenger, the former champion, Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield weighs in at 217 pounds. Next up on the scales, the man who holds the WBA and IBF World Championships, Riddick Bowe.
246.
He weighs in at 246 pounds. We are here now with the challenger, Evander Holyfield. And Evander, first, let me ask you, the 217 is about what people expected you to come in at. Are you happy with that weight?
Well, yes, I'm happy with the weight. I'm in shape, and I'm ready to get it on.
Now, some people say that that kind of weight doesn't allow you to do the kind of moving and quick movement and hand speed that they think you need to win this fight. Is that the case?
Well, they'll see November the 6th.
Okay, have you been working on that style?
Well, I've been doing the things that's necessary to be the champ come November 6th.
Okay, and 217's okay by you?
It's fine with me.
All right. Good luck. Evander Holyfield, the challenger. Now Riddick Bowe, the world champion. Riddick, 246 is about in the range you suggested you'd come in at. Less than some people said. You pleased?
I'm very pleased. You know, it's my natural weight. I'm feeling strong, and can't wait till Saturday to get in.
So much has been made about this weight thing. Did it seem like much ado over nothing to you?
Oh, very much so. I'm 6'5", I'm yet still young, and my body's starting to mature, so I think what the most important thing is, as long as I'm in good shape, and I'm in great shape.
The other thing that was discussed much this week was the size of the ring. It's 20 feet. Ultimately, does that suit you?
Well, you know, it's not what I wanted. I wanted 18, but he can't do much running, I can tell you that.
All right, so you feel like even in a 20-foot ring, you should be able to fight him?
Only thing I'm concerned with is as long as I can touch him. If I can touch him, I can knock him out.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Riddick Bowe in at 246, Evander Holyfield at 217. Let's go back to you, Charlie.
Okay, Al, so 246 pounds for the champion and 217 for Holyfield. Holyfield is 12 pounds heavier than he was this time last year going against Bowe. Bowe is 11 pounds heavier than he was against Holyfield. Tail of the tape. The big difference is the weight, nearly 30 pounds. And as far as the reach is concerned, 3.5 inches, and of course only one loss between them. So Riddick Big Daddy Bowe, his weight has kind of gone up and kind of gone down. He in fact will be going into this fight against Evander Holyfield heavier than he has been since the Holyfield fight in 51 weeks ago. Coming up a little bit later on SportsCenter, we will be spending some time with the referee in the fight on Saturday night, Mills Lane. Piece entitled, Here Comes the Judge, Here Comes the Judge. And a reminder, Saturday night, immediately after the fight, join us live here from Las Vegas for coverage of the Holyfield and Bowe post-fight festivity. Welcome back to SportsCenter. Welcome back to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas, where on Saturday night, Riddick Bowe will defend his title in a rematch against Evander Holyfield. The man in the middle of the ring on Saturday night will be Mills Lane, who a lot of people seem to think is the best boxing referee in the world. And up in Reno, Nevada, a lot of people seem to think he's one tough hombre. He's a judge up there. In fact, his entire life is that of a judge, either in the ring or in the courtroom.
Good morning. Be seated, please.
Meet His Honor Mills Lane, a district court judge in the state of Nevada by day. By night and on weekends, probably, he's the most recognized referee in the world.
You are in control, both as a judge and as a referee, and I suppose there's a relationship there, although I never really thought of it that way.
Lane has a reputation of being a no-nonsense referee in the ring, and that is precisely the reputation he's earned after 3 years on the bench in Nevada.
I think I'm a fair person. I think that there are some people that you cannot afford not to send to prison. If you don't, they're going to hurt you. They're going to kill you, they're going to rape you, they're going to rob you, they're going to mug you. On the other hand, there's some people that you can do a better job with than incarcerate. I'm not going to put you in jail. I want you to know that going in. But I tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, you ought to be ashamed of what you've done. I'm going to sentence you not to 9 months, to 1 year in the Washoe County Jail on each count. I'm going to suspend it. Put you on probation for an indeterminate period not to exceed 3 years. The first 6 months of your probation, when you're not working, house arrest. That means the world that I work in is full of esoteric. It's full of rationalization. It's full of legalistic, conceptual minutia. But boxing, professional prize fighting, is the most basic of all endeavors that I've ever seen. It's mano-mano, one-on-one, me against you. When the bell rings, all the esoteria, all the minutia, all the crap aside. Have you tended to business? Have you done your job? Are you ready?
Bowe Holyfield, too, will be the 71st title fight Lane has refereed in a career that spanned a quarter century. Critics have charged that Mills Lane is simply too small to officiate boxing's biggest men, but that argument doesn't carry much weight anymore.
The question is not size, because no referee in the world today that I know is going to be able to muscle Evander Holyfield or Mike Tyson or Riddick Bowe or Razor Riddick or Lennox Lewis. You can't muscle those guys. So the question is not how big you are. The question is what they know you will put up with and whether or not they respect what your role is in the prize fight.
No fight with Lane in the ring can begin until the judge, or referee in this case, implores both fighters.
Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on! I think it was about the Holmes-Cooney fight, or right about in that time, and I thought to myself, you know, I want to say something different. I don't want to do, let's go shake hands, good luck to you, go back to your corner. I just want to, so I just said, let's get it on. I thought, damn, that's appropriate.
A former prize fighter with a 10-1 record, he weighed 145 pounds, which is exactly what he weighs today, and a former Marine, Lane has always been an official something, a lawyer, chief deputy sheriff, district attorney. Now it's his honor, Mills Lane.
We'll be in recess. I'm the luckiest son of a bitch there ever was. I got the best job in the world, and I referee fights. Who could want more than that?
All right, they held the weigh-in tonight for the Bowe Holyfield fight. It takes place Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Holyfield weighs in at 217 pounds. Riddick Bowe, he weighs in at 246 pounds.
Hello and welcome to SportsCenter. Along with Gary Miller, I'm Dan Patrick. And 2 days from right about now, Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe should be just about ready to step into the ring, working towards settling their rematch.
Bowe's trainer, the legendary Eddie Futch, feels fighters who win championships are 25% better than before they won because they have the confidence of a champion. Both fighters got down to the basics Thursday afternoon at Caesars Palace. Charlie Steiner was there for the individual poundings.
Welcome back to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas, where on Thursday, Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield had their weigh-in for Saturday night's rematch. This time a year ago, Evander Holyfield, then the champion, weighed 205 pounds, and Riddick Bowe, then the challenger, weighed 235 pounds. There was little question that on Thursday, both men would be considerably heavier than they were this time a year ago. Holyfield stepped on the scales first. He weighed 217, 12 more than what he weighed in 1992. However, Evander Holyfield was wearing his shoes on the scale, so perhaps there was something behind all that weight. Riddick Bowe was next, 246 pounds, his weight 11 more than what he fought at this time a year ago against Evander Holyfield. After the weigh-in was complete, Al Bernstein spoke with both fighters.
I'm very pleased. You know, it's my natural weight. I'm feeling strong and can't wait till Saturday get here.
So much has been made about this weight thing. Did it seem like much ado over nothing to you?
Oh, very much so. I'm 6'5", I'm yet still young, and my body's starting to mature, so I think what the most important thing is, as long as I'm in good shape, and I'm in great shape.
Because I'm happy with the weight, I'm in shape, and I'm ready to get it on.
Now, some people say that that kind of weight doesn't allow you to do the kind of moving and quick movement and hand speed that they think you need to win this fight. Is that the case?
Well, they'll see November the 6th.
So look at the tail of the tape, and Riddick Bowe has a 39-pound weight advantage over Evander Holyfield, 2.5-inch height advantage, 3.5-inch reach advantage, and you wonder why they call him Big Daddy. He's 11 pounds heavier than he was against Holyfield this time a year ago. He's 16 pounds heavier than he was when he knocked out Jesse Ferguson early in the second round of their fight back in May. 3 pounds heavier than he was when he knocked out Michael Dokes in February at Madison Square Garden. Joining us now, Al Bernstein, who's, of course, talking to the two fighters. Al, I guess the bottom line on the weigh-in today, it was a non-event because it does not look like the weights are going to provide an advantage to either fighter.
Well, it may not, Charlie. For one thing, we saw Evander Holyfield in at 217, but in reality, as you mentioned, he had his shoes on. It may well be he weighs about 213, and that may still be light enough for him to employ the tactics that everyone here seems to think he needs to win this fight, and that is use some foot speed as he did against Buster Douglas and George Foreman, and also use his hand speed. For Riddick Bowe at 246, that is not a ridiculously high weight for him. To get down to 246, he did have to come down from a pretty high weight when he started training, but still 246 seems reasonable to him, and no matter how much weight he has, the theory is it won't really hurt him.
You know, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I spent some time with Riddick Bowe in Tahoe. He weighed about 250 pounds then, so his weight has been fairly static over the past couple of weeks, and I would think that's a fairly good sign for Bowe and his camp. You had a chance to talk to the fighters today. Were you able to play dime store psychologist and get a sense of where they are?
A little bit. You know, Dan Duva turned to me as I was on the podium for the weigh-in and said, I've never seen Evander Holyfield more relaxed for a fight. I've never seen him more in sync with himself. And yet, when he got up on the stage, and I could see it in the interview I did with him, he was very tense, more tense than I remember Evander Holyfield being. And I have a good rapport with Evander Holyfield. Over the years, he's been very loose with me. He wasn't on the stage. Riddick Bowe was. And so that may give us a clue that Evander Holyfield is a little tighter for this fight than we would imagine.
Al and I, of course, will be together following the fight on Saturday night with highlights, analysis, and interviews. Wally Matthews will be joining us as well. We'll see you on Saturday night. Of course, we'll see you tomorrow night on SportsCenter. And for now, for Al Bernstein, Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, sending it back to SportsCenter.
About this time last night, you saw Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield step on the scales in preparation for their rematch tomorrow night. Holyfield is almost 30 pounds lighter than the man who took his heavyweight title last November, and he's 5 years older than Bowe. Two reasons why many are predicting repeat over revenge. Charlie Steiner continues our coverage in Vegas.
Robin, this town lives and dies by numbers. Let's give you a few. Riddick Bowe weighed 246 yesterday, the exact same weight that Buster Douglas weighed against Evander Holyfield 3 years and 12 days ago. Some more numbers. This time last year, Evander Holyfield stepped into the ring as a 9-5 favorite over Bowe, and tomorrow night he'll step into the ring as a 4.5-1 underdog. One other intriguing number. The local paper here in Las Vegas polled 36 writers and broadcasters yesterday. 34 of them are picking Riddick Bowe. We sampled some of the writers, and here's what they told us.
Oh, I think Bowe in 6, because he's not only bigger and stronger, I think he's probably hungrier.
I think Bowe will probably stop him late in the fight. You know, I think it's going to be hard for Holyfield when he realizes he can't win to keep pressing on at this stage of his career.
I think Bowe wins easily. He's too good a fighter at this stage. Holyfield, a year later, doesn't seem to be the kind of fighter he was at his best. I thought Bowe overwhelmed him the first time. I think he'll even do it better this time.
I like Bowe in 7. I think it'll be an easier fight than the first one. I don't like the fact that Holyfield's coming in heavier. He's going to have to move, and I don't see how he can with that excess weight.
I think Riddick Bowe could take it, even though it's a title fight, he could take a night off. I think it'll be a decision, and I think Holyfield will win it in a decision.
And coming up tonight on our 11:30 Eastern Time edition of SportsCenter, we'll be sitting down with both the champion Riddick Bowe and the challenger Evander Holyfield on the eve of their heavyweight championship rematch. For now, Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, sending it back to SportsCenter. Robin? And this is where they will do battle tomorrow night at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Hi, I'm Charlie Steiner, and welcome to the arena here at Caesars Palace. Tonight, we had anticipated having both the champion, Riddick Bowe, and the challenger, Evander Holyfield, join us. However, about 30 minutes before airtime, Riddick Bowe's people informed us the champion elected not to join us, and so we are very happy indeed to have the former heavyweight champion of the world join us, as well as Wally Matthews. Evander, you, of course, are coming into the ring tomorrow night as the challenger for the heavyweight championship for the first time in more than 3 years. As you go into the ring tomorrow night, is it going to be any different for you over the course of the 3 years?
Well, not really. I'm going in there with a better attitude, and I feel that, you know, with my attitude and with my faith, you're going to just strive me to give my best performance, and I know my best performance will be enough to win.
What's the difference in the attitude?
Well, you know, it's the whole thing is that all the things that got me to this point, the preparation. I guess, first of all, you know, my faith in Christ is a lot stronger. That enabled me to go out and do the things that, you know, my coaches were asking me to do, and to have a real sound mind when I'm in the fight.
Wally?
Evander, you know, we've mentioned that Riddick elected not to join us tonight. In a way, that's a blessing for you, because now you can actually finish a sentence without being interrupted. Well, the question that I want to ask you is, did that bother you all week when you guys appeared in head-to-head things? He's been bordering almost on disrespectful, where he's been correcting you and interrupting you and insulting you, calling you names. Did you get angered by any of that? Or?
Well, you know, no, I didn't let it get to me, because I realized that, you know, it's not so much that he is insulting me because he trying to put me down. It just his character, the way that he wants to be seen, and so I just just relax because I realize on November the 6th we both got to get in the ring. We both have to perform.
Why is the outcome going to be different this time than last time?
Well, because I'm gonna fight different for one thing. I truly believe is both fight the same way he fought on the 13th, and I fought the same way I fought on the 13th. The outcome probably be the same, but because I'm gonna be different, and I'm not relying on what Bowe gonna do. I got to rely on what I'm gonna do.
You told me about 6 or 8 months ago you completely lost your temper and lost your cool in the second round of that first fight. How do you keep from losing your temper this time around?
Well, because that ego ain't there. It's not to the point where I feel that I have to knock Bowe out to win. I realize that I have to do the things that I've been blessed with. I have to use my hand speed, and I got to just be a smart fighter. I guess for 23 years, and the fights that I won, the 29 victories, I always outsmart my guys. Not so much I always outfought them. I just always able to outthink them.
Evander, I think an important question is the weather. It's slightly cool now, and we're about 3 or more hours from what time you'll be fighting tomorrow night. I remember when you were going to fight Tyson here and they tried to reschedule it for January, you said, I'm not doing it because I will not fight in cold weather. How do you think this will affect you?
Well, I realize I have to do what I have to do. The fight is already scheduled. I have to fight. I guess if it was my choice whether to fight in cold or hot, I would definitely choose hot. But, I come the night, November 6th, I'll be out there fighting.
Is there any different preparation that you have to do because of the weather?
Well, I truly believe that cold weather makes you stiff and it's hard to loosen up, even though it worked in a way it worked for its endurance. Why? Because you don't get as tired because of the cool breeze.
When Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran here in Las Vegas in December about 3 or 4 years ago, it was about 40 degrees, and he showed up in a ski parka and ski pants and a wall hat. Are we likely to see you enter the ring in similar attire?
Well, I'm going to do the best I can because I'm from Atlanta. It's hot. I love hot weather. I train in Houston. I like hot weather. And, it's definitely a big difference. That's the reason why I've chose to be in hot climate, because with the hot climate, it relaxes me a little bit more, and I'm a little bit more fluent.
You said something to me the other day that was kind of curious, and I want to follow up a little bit now that we have a couple of minutes. And that is, it seemed to me you're preoccupied with correcting the error of November 13th, 1992, and you're not necessarily enthralled with the possibility of being champion again. There seems to be almost a conflict there, that you want to correct your error, but not necessarily wear the burden of being champion.
Well, I realize, in divine order, if you get one, the rest of it come. My whole thing is the point of me correcting my error is the point of winning. Regardless, when I win, I'm going to get the belt, whether or not I'm going to get the belts, and the money's there, and everything is falling in line, the fame and all that is right back. But, the most important thing is that winning the fight.
Would you be inclined to call it a day after winning this thing?
Well, I could, but, it's not so much that I have that on my mind, because I truly believe just to say, well, I'm going to retire after this fight could be a reason why a person not give their all. So my only thing is that for me, just keep one thing as focused, winning. Then, after that, then being able to take time to think about, what I'm going to do after, but, one step at a time.
Evander, one thing that I haven't been able to reconcile yet is that I think we all agree that you won the first round of the first fight, and you did it by the way that you should, with speed and boxing and all, and then whether you lost your temper or what, that's immaterial at this point. But why come in bigger for this fight if you want to beat Bowe with speed?
Well, it's not so much I said, well, I'm coming in bigger. I had more time to prepare, and I can say Lee Haney did a great job with his weight program and conditioning program, and it didn't take away from my weight. And, with Emmanuel doing the proper thing, I just happened to be a little heavier, but I've been training a little heavier than 217. I've been training around 221, 222, so I'm accustomed to the weight that I'm carrying.
Evander Holyfield, the former heavyweight champion of the world, looking to delete the word former from his title tomorrow night here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Thanks, Evander.
Thank you.
Coming back a little bit later on this one-hour edition of SportsCenter, Al Bernstein will join us, and we'll have a preview of tomorrow night's fight with some analysis and some predictions. We'll also be sitting down with both Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe and take a look back on the fight they fought 51 weeks ago. All straight ahead on SportsCenter. We're coming to you from Las Vegas and Caesars Palace. That's the site
24 hours away from the heavyweight championship of the world.
Last time Charlie Steiner was at a heavyweight fight, it was cold and rainy in Cardiff, Wales. If the weather's a tad too nice, just stage a bout that's important enough to get Charlie to show. He's in Vegas tonight for the Bowe Holyfield rematch. Charlie?
Jack, this is where Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield will stage their rematch at about 8 o'clock Pacific time. And when they step into this ring behind me, don't be surprised to see either fighter in ski parkas and wool hats, because the temperature is expected to be somewhere between 48 and 50 degrees when they step into the ring tonight. Beside the temperature plummeting, so are the odds, which opened at 5-1 in favor of Bowe. But in the last 24 hours, certainly since the weigh-in, virtually all the money that's come into Las Vegas has come in on Evander Holyfield, who is now a 3-1 underdog. He opened as a 5-1 underdog. However, virtually every writer and broadcaster covering this fight expects that Riddick Bowe will retain his title.
I don't think it's going to be easy. I think when Bowe wins by a knockout, it'll be in a late round, as late as the 10th, 11th round.
Riddick Bowe, and I do not think it'll go the distance. He's taking the best that Holyfield has to give.
Bowe's going to knock him out sometime. It depends on how brave Holyfield is.
I like Holyfield by decision because I think he's going to fight a smarter fight. I think he's going to outbox Riddick Bowe.
If Holyfield is going to win tonight, he's going to have to outbox the bigger and stronger Riddick Bowe. Bowe, of course, has the weapon to knock out Holyfield with just one punch. Holyfield does not have that kind of weaponry. Find out how it happens and why it happens immediately after the fight on SportsCenter. Al Bernstein and Wally Matthews will be joining me live from Las Vegas. For now, Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace, sending it back to SportsCenter. Jack?
You dirty rat.
Mental exercise. Of course, training from Fila. Check this out. Oh, motion.
The Big Bang. Some believe the sound can still be heard rumbling through space. Now, get ready for the echo. Bowe versus Holyfield in a rematch of one of the greatest fights ever. Bowe owns the title. Holyfield wants it back. Repeat or revenge. Live from Caesars Palace. Available only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator to order. Brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Riddick Bowe defends his heavyweight title in a rematch against former champion Evander Holyfield. SportsCenter will be there with pre- and post-fight coverage. Tonight on ESPN.